Hello, hello, hello.
Lots of buttons to push now. Trader Roundup, everybody. The subconscious mind and reality creation. With me today is Trader Coach Rodrigo. How's it going, Rod?
All good, all good. Excited about today's topic. I'm ready to go deep, man.
I mean, today we wanna have a very interesting conversation regarding our own mental capacities, about our own mind, our own mental condition, what we do to create our own reality. How do we shift our identity? How do we understand resistance in change? So we indeed are going deep today. We are indeed going deep. So I think we're live on YouTube as well.
Yeah. I can see we're live on Trader Roundup YouTube
Whoop,
channel.
whoop. Stepping up the tech game here, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to do it to it. I want to dive into the conversation, and I want to open the floor, and I want to get perspectives from the folks, Rod as well. And I mean, I want to propose the question first and foremost, like, what would you like to see different in your life? Right? What would you like to see different in your life? And I really want you to look at your current reality and think of the dissatisfaction and the resistance that we as folks focus on within wanting change. We focus on what we don't want. We focus on trying to change versus accepting what is. And I don't know about you, but Rod, I think I've thought a lot about this, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. I think when you're alone, there's a lot of solitude, and that can be good and that can be bad. But really trying to harness it for good, you kind of get out of your own way sometimes. And when you find kind of like that zen spot within yourself, you can really kind of focus on what you want to change. And yeah, man, I was wondering, like, what are your thoughts when we talk about things that you want to change? I mean, I talk about it for me a lot, and I'm here to talk about it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
This is I mean, when it comes to this topic, it's one of the first things that I discuss when I'm on a call with a trader. So when I start our first sort of coaching call, I ask them some questions about what is it that you're struggling with, and what do you want to change, right? What do you envision? What are your goals? What does the end look like, right? And it's and there are certain things that need to change in order, certain beliefs, certain behaviors, there's certain patterns, there's things that need to change in order to change that reality for that particular trader. So it's that everybody wants change, right? And then everyone I speak to, they want more time, they want more wealth, they want more freedom. I mean, it's pretty universal wanting these things. They want, I mean, the topic that the theme that I keep getting is they just want more quality time with their family. You know, these are all universal in everybody that I speak with, and trading is a tool to get us there.
We're on YouTube as well, buddy. I don't know if you can hear us, but go ahead, Rod.
So yeah, I can see that we've got some guests that have joined us on via this Restream Studio, which is great. We're going to have you guys on in very, very shortly. And I think when we have to be able, in order for us to change our realities, we have to change our beliefs. And this involves a combination of self-reflection, being open to change, being willing for change, right? Having open-mindedness. And with that, with the combination of self-reflection and open-mindedness, you need conscious effort. Conscious effort means you have to be aware every single moment of where you're at in the present moment. So this mindfulness, but then you got to make that conscious effort, right? Like right now, I feel these feelings. Right now, I have these emotions, but I'm going to make a conscious effort to do what I'm supposed to do, right? I have a duty to myself. I have a duty to follow my trading plan. I have a duty to my family that when I'm with them, I'm going to treat them with love, kindness, respect, and I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to be present, because as a trader, we tend to take the market with us everywhere we go. We carry our losses, we carry our mistakes, don't we? And so having that conscious effort to be able to do this is so difficult, but there are different things you can do to reach these, to be able to change, to alter your reality, to be able to change your beliefs. There are things you can do, and then that's what I want to get into in today's topic.
I think that's excellent input. Delving into this topic, the first milestone for me is understanding the importance of resistance. Like, what are we doing to make it harder for ourselves, right? And I think that has a lot to do with where we put our focus and where and how we focus our attention. So for me, I'd like to open up and ask, some other folks and Rod as well, like, where and how can we change our focus, from being fearful and resisting change to creating change and embracing it. Josh has got his hand up. Rod, I'm going to ask Josh and come circle back around to you.
All right.
Josh, jump in, the grown-ass man.
Hey, guys. Yeah, this is a great topic in that, I think our trading methodologies and our trading plans, as we go, we realize that we are kind of the biggest obstacle to our success a lot of times, right? And a lot of that does come from fear and greed, and we don't take the trades we need to, or we take the trades we're not supposed to because of those things. And this topic is so important because so often we'll do something, we're like, why did we do that? And it's like the underlying problem, is below the conscious, is subconscious, right? And a lot of these things that we come across were programmed in us before we even really were conscious. Like we are, when we're children up to like 7 years old, we're walking around in a state of theta, which is similar to hypnosis or that really deep meditation where the subconscious is easily programmed. We don't remember a whole lot from that. And the stories that we have from that childhood and from any traumatic event that had happened to us create the stories in our minds, and the stories in our minds of our consciousness. The more things that we do over and over again get programmed subconscious. That's why like perfect practice makes perfect type of concept, but bad practice puts bad things in. The more things we consciously do over and over again gets offloaded to the subconscious, right? And a lot of the self-feeding stuff that we've got going on is due to the stories that we tell ourselves, and those stories are due to the perception that we had of whatever happened to us, and then it had like a feedback loop that happens from the subconscious that's kind of like feeding under the underlying story as well, right? So to answer your question, I think that like instead of focusing, you alluded to earlier, on the things that we don't want, the key is to really, really focus on the things that we do want. And that's why like being goal-oriented, system-oriented is really important as individuals, but as traders, right? And it all interrelates. You'll find that like I found through this process, a lot of the things through childhood, whether lack of patience or things would be the things that attacked me while I was a trader. How the market will zero in and focus on and create a laser focus of just pointing to those things that are on your subconscious that will like get you. And the key to like really consistency is overcoming all of those things, but you have to become conscious of it. So part of like what Rod said, like awareness, being in the now and like what's really going on with me and all of that. And then the focus of attention, like the affirmations, everything we do.
Okay, so just type a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. We're just having some technical audio difficulties. Yeah, type a 1. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so thank you very much. What I'll do is we just lost connection with Kit. Kit, I'm gonna just unmute you, buddy.
My bad.
There you are. You're back in again, Kit.
I muted myself, which meant I muted Josh, and I'm sorry.
Okay. Hey, Josh.
Air.
Josh, still there?
Yeah. Did I come through to anybody else, or was
you heard Twitter heard you. Some of YouTube did not. That's my bad. I'm still learning, buddy. I'm still learning. Get 1% better every day. Yeah, sorry, YouTube. Not a zillion folks here, so I apologize to the few that are listening.
No worries. No worries. So, Josh, do you want to finish what you were saying?
I don't know exactly where I got cut off at.
Well, one thing you were saying, Josh, was where and how what we focus our energy on really matters. So if we're focused on resisting kind of thoughts or things that we can't do, and we're really focused or energized on that, then that tends to be that loop, that feedback loop, versus when we really focus on change and what we want to see differently. So if you want to touch up that's kind of, I think, where you left off, if I could be a bridge.
Yeah, so, in that awareness of now, like when you get into that Zen state, that flow state that you guys were alluding to, if you can kind of like be aware of, like, try to be on the lookout for what subconscious programs are biting you in the ass, so to speak, especially in your regular life and trading. You can now like focus on your goals of where you want to go, but don't focus so much on the thing that's biting your ass, the bad behavior, but think about, okay, where do I want to go and what behaviors would be there? Just like in a trading style, like this thing doesn't work on my model. If I tweak this, then and focus on executing this change rather than focus on what didn't work, you can reevaluate and reprogram your model, right? Well, we can reprogram ourselves and the subconscious things by consciously, with affirmations, with different actions, with goals that we are reviewing every day and thinking about and putting on the refrigerator and seeing every day. That repetitiveness of thought and emotion and action towards our goal, not away from the thing that we're trying to get away from, but towards our goal, will reprogram the subconscious through the conscious actions. And I think that's what Rod was alluding to, and that's what I use to try to reprogram myself and get better and better every day. I don't focus on the things I'm aware. I try to be aware of the things that are biting me in the butt, but I try to then focus, create a goal and a direction that's aligned with where I want to go, and then actions that I can take and thoughts I can have and feelings I can have, and just brute force that as much as I consciously can in the now to reprogram the subconscious programs that are created from childhood and from traumatic events and previous stories in our life.
I love that. So Josh, could you give us an example, a recent example of you being consciously aware of your impulsivity and then doing what's right instead of falling into the trap?
Okay, so we had this last really bad consolidation, right? And then instead of really being patient, like I normally as a trader, like I got to a point where it would get so long that I started to take trades that I didn't end. And I was like, what am I doing? And like through meditation, I had this awareness of, I came from a family of nothing. Like my parents were heroin addicts and whatever. We lived in like canal banks. That CPS took us away from our parents because it was so like bad conditions or whatever.
Wow.
That I realized that like I had a deeply ingrained thing of lack, and that lack of like the market ever coming back or whatever was starting to induce me into making decisions that were not good for my P&L, were not, and then I would carry that into my day, and the momentum. And I was like, I need to stop all of that and just go back to the system, just be patient, just do all of those things. And so I refined my model and my rules in my model to do that. And then every day is like, when we go to sleep at night and we wake up, we pass through theta, and I try to take a nap in the middle of the day after trading just to kind of reset and pass through that in my meditation. And just, I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am a consistent trader. I am patient. I don't, and then I'd start thinking, I don't need to do this. And I catch myself like, I am going to be more patient, like Neville Goddard, like using the I am and assuming what you are. And, it took a week or two or whatever, but then I snapped back out of it. I got systematic. There's some people in the space here I can see right now that are in the Discord that saw it happen to me. It's just, and I went from being out of sync with the market, before in the sync, like I was calling price like crazy. And then when I fell into that trap and I succumbed to that childhood lack, I fell out. And it's like within a week of just kind of rephrasing all of that and relying on that system and reprogramming myself, boom, I snapped back into price right before it took off again. And it really just, it's funny because it's like the trading is a perfect mechanism. I tweet about this often, that of like becoming a better person. And I also didn't then carry that stuff into my relationship, like with my wife. If I lose and there was sort of lack, then I'd start to like see like lack of attention from her or my children, and I tell myself stories from all that, and it can create a downhill thing. But once I externalized all of that and realized had awareness that it was this childhood thing, I could now reprogram it and know that that was external. That's not my conscious, that's subconscious programs that were running. And once I did that, my momentum shifted, not only personally, but in my P&L and professionally, and in the Discord of my friends, and just throughout my entire life.
Wow, that is so powerful, and the fact that you know, and I want to thank you for sharing that story. It's so inspirational, and that process you just described, that's elite level stuff right there. Those are the tools. That is the formula for high performance, and nothing in that sounded easy. It's a challenge. It's a constant challenge, and it's intentional. It's open-mindedness, it's awareness, it's visualization, affirmations, action and practice. You know, these are, and Josh, I want to thank you again. That was amazing. That was, it encompassed everything that we wanted to discuss today. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, what I heard Josh say that I really, really liked was he was going back to kind of like social conditioning and some of his influences from his past, and kind of falling back into that versus projecting himself out of that. And yeah, I really resonate with your story, Josh. And I think people should focus on acceptance, right? Accepting, if you want change, then you just have to accept things for what they are. And you have to make a conscientious decision to change. And you need to focus on that change. And focusing on that change is going to have resistance through your own social conditioning, through your own fear. And I think it's extremely important when we're talking about letting go of programming, fear, and reprogramming with our own mental state, our own mind. The dominant thoughts, we shift them towards positivity. We control our minds. We don't let our minds control us. I think that's a very empowering thought. I'd like to hear more. Josh, the grown-ass man, by the way, he's a grown-ass man. He's in his 40s. He's a CIO. He's very successful. He lives in California. He's a monster. He's a beast. He's a grown-ass man. That's why we love having him on the show. Thank you, Josh, for that alpha.
Thank you, Kit.
Greatly appreciate all of that energy. Want to bring in some other folks. We got DV here. I'm not sure if they're ready and able. DV, and then we're gonna bring in someone new. Nitahim. I hope I said that right. We'll bring you in just in a second. We want to hear from DV. DV, your thoughts.
Hey guys.
Hello.
I'm just gonna wing this one.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So my trading career has been an interesting one. Been up and down for about 3 or 4 years, and I've got to admit that I know where my demons are. I'm fortunate. I make the same demonic poor decisions every day.
Quickly, DV, tell me more about your. I mean, I know my demons as well. I think it's good that we talk about them, not to empower them, to limit them. Fear, greed, self-doubt, self-destruction. What are yours? I have a lot of self-destructive thoughts personally.
Absolutely, and everybody will be able to relate to this. I my first trade of the day, I am the machine. I put up the best trade. I follow the rules. I 80% profit, beautiful. And then during the course of the day, I get tunnel vision. I sit in front of the charts too long, and then I drop to a lower time frame, and then I go mining. And before I know it, I'm flicking switches. I'm over leveraging because the first trade was a low risk trade, and the next moment, snap away all the profit from the morning and then some, and it's a slippery slope. I'm fortunate, guys. My wife, she is absolutely amazing. I was going to give up trading about 6 months ago, and she said, "You know what? You have everything in life that is incredible and that's good and that's great and that's beautiful, and you've invested so much of our time in trading, and you have aha moments every day. It doesn't matter how big or how small they are. Love you'll always have. Just push this through." And shame, for our anniversary, she got me a 2-year subscription to Forex Test at 5.
Dude, I love you.
So,
Wow, she's a
That's
keeper for sure, man.
That's support.
yeah, so I'm fortunate, but that's my story. My biggest battle is my internal just destructive nature, and I think everybody has it, where it's so easy. I used to play poker for a living years ago, and we always had the saying that said, poker is the hardest way to make an easy living. Trading, now that is the hardest way to make an easy living, because it comes so quickly and it goes quicker.
No doubt. So having a supportive wife, that brings a tear to my eye. Talk a little bit more about where and how you kind of carried maybe some of these demons from your own conditioning as a kid, or where you got some of these things from.
You know what it is? I'm maybe fortunate. I live I live in South Africa, and for those of you that don't know, there's such a divide between the haves and the have-nots, and I'm very fortunate that I'm not a have-not, and I know that where my trading comes from, the problems is it's so easy to rebuy a challenge. It's so quick, and you don't necessarily see the damage you do on a daily basis. You only tally it up in 3, 6 months, or a year, and then when you realize the self-inflicted damage, you almost build or almost dig this big hole, and you never know how much deeper and deeper and deeper you go. And that's where my destructive nature comes from. It's not anything from childhood. It's not anything I've carried. This is it's almost something that I've managed over the last 2 years to make worse and worse and worse for myself, till about 6 months ago, and just trying to be more accountable for my decisions in trading.
How do you do that? How do you do that? Because it sounds like you hit the self-destruct button pretty.
I did.
I can relate.
I did.
I can relate. I want to be the first to tell you I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying. It almost sounds like you're daring yourself to blow an account because you care, but there's another part of you that doesn't really give a fuck.
Absolutely, and there's nothing wrong with my technicals. There's nothing wrong with my trading. There's nothing wrong with me waiting for the right setup. But once I have a win, it's almost like my mind just goes on a bit of tilt. What I've done over the last 3 to 6 months is I found an accountability buddy. My wife has access to my FX book, and the last thing I ever want to do is to embarrass myself. So that's helped me.
So transparency in your operation.
Honesty, yeah. I've forced myself to see trading now as a business. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Just by doing it, trading is now a business. I'm slowly, very slowly making back the losses that I have. I'm very slowly. I'm not trying to rush it. And then what I tend to do now is, if I get or if I get really, I've got to do this. I have to do this. I want to load 5 trays. I want to see where it goes. I don't flip to demo because for me that's like pulling teeth. I do have a little money account that I use that's not a funded account, and I go for the smallest lot size available, and because then there's still a little bit of relevance to my poor decision making.
Yeah.
But also I find in good, clean trading habits. I'm fortunate that when I wake up, London is about to start, and I love trading the London session. I can frame my setups nicely for the day, and just having a trading desk where I load my trades and I walk away. And I've got an alert on my phone if I go TP or belly under, and I try not to sit and watch the charts anymore, because that for me is my path to destruction. Is seeing the charts and seeing, it's you can see a setup in every time frame all the time.
Well,
in every
it sounds like over trading is probably one of your biggest demons, because you get every single move throughout the day, and I'm sure as you've learned more, you want the 1 o'clock setup, you want the 3 o'clock setup.
I've done away with all of that.
Okay,
I have one setup now.
okay,
That's it.
Okay.
I've done away with all of that.
How do you engage with price then, DV?
So my setup is very straightforward now. I try to get it down to half a A4 page. I watch the Asian range. I watch for a significant breakout, the 2022 model on a 15-minute. I clean it up on 5 minutes. I look for that order block. I take the entry and I take my partials, and I aim for fractions of 0.5%. So I keep my risk incredibly small. And it allows me just to take maybe two trades in the whole London session and maybe a continuation in the New York session. More than that, I know where I'm going to go. Then I'm trading out of boredom. So for me, it's just, I've done away with just all the noise. It's too much for me. I love Michael, but wow, there's just too much information.
Well, I mean, I think simplifying things is important. I think he has a very large audience.
Absolutely.
Right. So, I mean, I find it interesting, you being in South Africa, being 6 hours ahead, and the first move being at 1:30. So you're waking up to that 7:30 move, and you're watching whether Asia has ranged or not. And I'm sure you're really looking at, from a New York standpoint, or your midnight price, right? Your 3 a.m. price, which is 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. I mean, those prices matter, right? If you are looking for that early move, the more you can define, critical points and parts of open, high, low, close of AMD, I'm sure that works to your benefit in how you engage with price, I would presume.
Absolutely, Kit, but also because I'm quick with the trigger, I realized that I get tunnel vision on the 1 minute charts, and you find a setup in every direction. But if you trade in the wrong direction, you got to limit your range so much, because the market will retract against you. Also, what I've done is just by trading in the higher time frame, I protect my stops by just making it a lot bigger and taking a lot less risk.
Okay, so you have a higher stop loss from a higher time frame.
Yes.
So far more points. What's your ideal high time frame from going from your analysis of Asia, and within looking at a daily or a weekly range? What fractal are you really dialed into?
So I go. I look for the draws and liquidity on the daily. I find the 4 hours very clean for me in terms of potential range and moves. Then I look for the stop, for the buy stops or sell stops on the 1 hour. I look for more break of the Asia range. So I take the high and the low of the Asia range. I look for a significant break on the 15-minute chart, and then my entry will either be on the 15-minute. If I can't find a clean entry in the discount or premium array, then I'll maybe drop to 5 minute. but that's the lowest I'll go. It gets too busy for me in the 1 minute.
So
I still
are
work.
you looking for that daily Judas then? Or are you looking
Yeah.
for kind of the apex of the Judas? You're
I
waiting
look
for
for
it
the
to
apex
break
of the
that
Judas.
range, and if it's breaking that range to the buy side, you're looking for it to return back into
Yeah.
the range, and then maybe
100%.
you
I
can break
find
the
with the
sell side
15 minute that Judas doesn't affect me so much. I can usually sit and wait and see if it forms, and then I'll just catch the wave down.
So do you I mean, if you're looking at that 130, I mean, do you find that there's typically kind of like a Judas to the Judas, or do you find that double move within that midnight range? Do you find that happens often? The move before the move, we'll say, or do you really like finding the continuation from that very first move? I mean, I
Yeah,
think they both.
yeah, absolutely. I look for the continuation. I've changed my focus also. I don't do indices. I only trade euro dollar.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's cleaner. It's cleaner for me. It's easier for me to navigate. And then I look also based on the weekly profile. So generally the Monday, Tuesday will be a move in specific direction. Tuesday usually midday, end of day, and Wednesday morning will be either the high low of the week. And then I just try and catch the waves down. Little bit, no more than 3%. No more than 3R.
Do you like short in the market more or long in the market? Just curious. We typically all have a preference. What's
Yeah, 100. I figured out how to flip my screen in trading views. That helps. I see the market in shorts a lot clearer than buys. It's a really good question. I love that. I've flipped my screen over a few times. Last week was a beautiful shorting market in Euro USD. This week I think I'm going to flip my screen on Monday and Tuesday, and then flip it back on Wednesday. If it's going to go the way my analysis reckons it's going to go.
Are you physically flipping your monitor, or do you mean the inverse? You're clicking inverse in the trading view?
Inverse.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you know of that feature, because I thought, oh my god, this he's flipping his entire monitor.
No, it's a cool feature.
So,
it's a really cool feature.
I find that interesting. Twitter, real quick. We're on YouTube. We got some questions. If you want to jump in, if you've got some questions as well, feel free, ask. We're here to answer your questions. You can ask the questions on Twitter. Feel free to jump in on YouTube. It's kind of interactive there as well. Yeah, I know Josh is amazing. DV is amazing. Mr. Wicks posting some motivational affirmations. DV from South Africa. Have you so you have you've got your live account and then a funded account. How's your journey been as a funded trader? Have you passed an evaluation? How close have you been to out?
Past in the last year, I've passed 7 evaluations. I've attempted 22, I think. I've even lapsed one of them where I had a family crisis and I didn't take any trades for a month, and my forex funds closed the account. I'm fortunate that in the last 6 months I've passed quite a few. I've also had one night too much red wine, and I dumped an account, which that's one lesson I'll take to my grave. You only learn that once.
Wait, what was that?
I had a $20,000 account, and I had too much wine one night, and I thought, ooh, this is great. I'm gonna flip this.
Oh God, yeah, that's yeah, I understand.
Well, they do say don't drink and drive, but definitely don't drink and trade.
So no, so now it's I wouldn't drink it at work, so I don't drink when I'm trading either.
Sounds like a good lesson to be applied. Exactly. So we got DB here. We're going to take a quick break, probably like a little 30-second interlude here, and we'll come back. We'll pick it up. We got Josh, the grown ass man here. Rod's here, co-hosting with me. If you guys want to jump in, pop in, say hi. We got DB here. If you got any questions, feel free, holler at us. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Great platform, kid.
And we're back, guys. The production level, it's getting better. My boy Rod coming through strong on the interlude. We got Joe G here. We got Rod here. DV is here. Josh, the grown-ass man, is here. Shabashi, my friend Shabashi, I haven't heard from him for quite some time. Love to hear from my Zanzibarian brother. But we got Joe G here. Joe G, we are talking very specifically. Oh, looks like we got Rolly and DV here. Nice. Joe G, we're talking subconscious mind. We're talking reality creation on a Sunday afternoon. I know you're just getting here. But how are you doing today, Joe G? And then we're going to check in with Rolly and DV as well.
Good, bro. I'm doing good, man. Just enjoying the day off, man. Getting some stuff done around the house. Just back in the pool. Probably gonna cut the grass soon. You know, just dad stuff, bro.
Dad stuff. I do know exactly. Mowing the lawn, maybe, a little Home Depot. Feeling a little lucky, maybe a little Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, bro. You know it is. It's a nice day out, man. It rained here all day yesterday, so and I worked yesterday too, so just kind of a catch-up day for me. Looking at the charts, dude, seeing what potential setups might come, to start the week off. There's a lot of like the debt ceiling talk going on and stuff too, so I think this week should be pretty interesting, bro.
Oh, I think for sure it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm looking at Monday. I'm looking at a continuation of probably short on Monday, quite frankly. I think there's a lot of reasons to get back to Tuesdays, PD arrays, some of Fridays as well. But I mean, ultimately, I have a bullish narrative. So, we go down to go up, we go up to go down. So, anyway, I definitely think Monday could be some short actions, at least in my top-down analysis for the day. We'll see, though. Like to see how Monday plays itself out.
It makes sense, though. I mean, if you're aiming to go higher,
yeah,
you would anticipate, Tuesday to bring in the low of the week to drive higher. So, yeah, no, I agree, man. I can see Monday and Tuesday drive a little lower, get back to some sort of fair value, and continue up higher. I'm kind of the same thought too.
You and I typically are, which is why I don't mind sharing my bias. I'm looking at the 4150 area first, 4157, 4146. I see us going as high as 4217, right? I mean, there's fair value up there at 4213, up to even as high as 4217. So I could see us retracing a little bit higher to drop lower, dropping a little lower to retrace higher. But my target areas on Monday are 42.17 all the way down to right around 41.41. So,
yeah, no, that makes sense. I think ES is, let's see, it didn't algo 2, so it's right now it's in fair value. Actually, no. I'm trying to think which one. I believe it's an algo 2. I have to look at it again, but it's in fair value right now. Could be an algo 1. I would anticipate it to come back down. And I think that the area of interest I had marked off was 41.54, if I can remember right.
yeah, 41.54. That's about where I'm at.
Yep.
The 41.50 number, and I mean we'll go up a little higher to go to eventually drop down lower, right? So
Same with NQ. I think NQ's at the top of its range, and it probably wants to retrace. They're both kind of set up to come down, then continuation.
Yeah, we're naturally aligned. I'm not too shocked with that. You don't really have to marry one specific bias. That would be the advice I'd have to folks, especially earlier on in the week. You're not going to get a massive continuation typically on a Monday. You're going to be accumulating. You're going to be retracing to some of Friday's levels, some of last week's levels. So finding the previous day's highs, previous day's lows of last week are going to be pertinent, are going to matter, and will definitely become part of your analysis and your PD arrays. So we got to get to 41.90 first. So 42.12 to get to 41.90. 41.90 drops us down to 41.50. So a little bit of retracement in there, a little bit of inversion as well. So 41.90 acts as support, then it'll act as resistance on our way down. So pretty clear thought, pretty clear view on where we're at. Definitely see us going to 43.74 though. Definitely see us hitting the 4,300. Definitely see us over time, dropping a bit to go higher, going higher to drop a bit.
That's definitely in the program, bro. Like even Bitcoin, I've been following Bitcoin lately too. Bitcoin looks like it wants to come down to like 25.3
before it heads up to 32.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all kind of in line to retrace a little bit, to before the next big push. Like Bitcoin's definitely going to 32.5.
Yeah, I see dollar hitting 105 too. I mean,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was thinking 105 on the dollar, and then more continuation down. I think on the dollar. I think ultimately the dollar probably wants to get down to like 97, 98 by the time this is all said and done.
Yeah, and that takes ES up to 4,300 and above. Yeah. 43.74 ish has been a number. We had to hit 42.12 first. We finally broke that. That took forever. About a month late.
Yeah, man. Like that was the most painful 4,200 run ever.
Yeah.
That was just the constant consolidation, man. Like I was like literally like, yeah, and NQ was trading nicely, but ES was just so fickle, man. For that whole month, just did not want to play nicely. I mean, good if you're trading the range, but like, yeah, just did not want to break out. And finally, at least we got to break out last week, which was nice. So
for sure. So it's nice talking charts with Joe G. I want to get back to the Sunday inspiration and motivation. We can talk charts all day. We'll have all week to talk about that. We'll go down to go up. We'll go up to go down. Nothing new. Getting it right is what matters. Finding the right framework, the right rules, having the right discipline, seeing prices at prints real time, watching Asia print, seeing where and how London reacts to Asia, and then where and how New York reacts to both Asia and London. That's our intraday process. It's what we do. Sessions highs, sessions lows, PD arrays, previous day's highs, previous day's lows. If it's 6 a.m., look at your 3 a.m. price. If it's 3 a.m., look at your midnight price. If it's midnight, look at your 9 o'clock price. Just kind of constantly do a look back, then try and project forward. So with that said, Joe G, thank you so much. I want to bring who do we have here? Rolly was here. Said that he was headed to Bed Bath and Beyond. Nice little Sunday. He thinks KFC's still open.
Yeah, we got some questions that we like to ask.
Yeah, let's throw in some questions. Let's keep it interactive. We got, another half hour or so. Fairy Trades comes on at 2:00. We like to be done before then. Give her respect to her show. So what questions we got, Rod?
So question we have is, can you accept your reality for what it is? And are you willing to change it? Can you visualize the change that you want to see?
Ooh. I mean, haven't heard from Domino. Domino's new here. We got Shibashi here. Shibashi, I'd love to hear, and I'd love to propose that question to you. I'm not sure if you heard it.
I don't hear well the question.
Okay, no. Well, the question is how do you accept your reality?
Okay, reality in trading or reality in what?
In both, bro. Like your mental state. Talking about trading, okay. You can bring it however you want to bring it in, Shibashi. The Zanzibarian way.
Okay, in trading, reality is based on doing the mistake. You have to accept your mistake, basically the strategy that you choose yourself to learn. If you choose ICT, accept your mistake through ICT concept. Then those mistakes are painful, but write down and review it. So when you have an effort to do it, you will see the reality. If something works, you will see. If something don't work, you will see. And you will find assistance from other people. And that is a way to prove your reality. And really, it takes time. So you need to stay yourself alone after understanding the concept of the particular strategy, then sit down yourself. Sometimes you don't need maybe to have a lot of interaction. No, you only need to be yourself. And why? Because Forex by nature is only business that you're supposed to do yourself. So accept it. And if it's painful, use demo account. Use demo, accept your mistake, then review the price the way it does itself. Then mark it. If the scenario is 2 or 3 or 4, understand all those scenarios, the way price react at your place that you learn from ICT or from any other idea. You will see maybe more than one scenario. There is no formula that price must reverse here or here or here. You will see yourself automatically. Price sometimes it reverses here and it created a story. Sometimes it reverses a bit here and it will create a story. And sometimes price, sometimes it reverses here and it creates a story. Then you will get this confusion maybe. You will say maybe this is a confusion, maybe it don't go in line with your risk. If that, pick only when the price come at the one place and only trade it consistently by your stop loss that you want yourself. I know in trading there is a lot of difficulty. Sometimes you change the formula, you break the rules. That thing is very difficult. It's not for you alone, it's for all of us. But that is how you can prove reality of something. But when you see the difficulty, sometimes find assistance from your friend. Our brother here is a free. Most of the time, he do live analysis. Sometimes when you go directly to him and explain your problem, because he has the time to explain things in YouTube, he can take your question and teach you live there. Maybe you will learn it easy from there. Maybe you will grow. Maybe there are a lot of traders there. They will contribute. Maybe, but really you need to sit down yourself because you have a concept of particular strategy. It can be any strategy. You have learned the idea how the price reverses when it comes this place. sit down, give yourself time. Then look when the price come at that area, what it does. I'm telling you, you don't gonna see one scenario. You will see maybe two scenarios. You will see maybe three scenarios. Choose your easiest scenario for you. If all are low risk trade, that's good. But if scenario one is high risk, scenario two maybe high risk, trade only that scenario that give you low risk. If you can't able to place order two times, because sometimes you get the setup and it is on your side, but once price hit you stop one time, you lose the power, you lose the confidence. But if you review it, it will not. It will one day among in your setup. There is time it will come in a place that you feel for you is low risk and safe. Only trade it. And also in business, in our forex business, this business is not for weak people. It's very hard business. So how to do it? Reduce expectation. Trade with low risk as much as you can. You will enjoy your low risk trade, your small losing trade, your small stoppers, your small percentage. Those things you will enjoy and you will feel you are better than others. And then you will see that is your step. Once you get two trade come in your direction, you feel price give you something. Living in this situation, it's really needy people who are experienced it. Then they will accept the situation. But from the beginning, it's very, really hard to accept the second stoppers, the third stoppers. But you believe your strategy, it works for you, but it's sometimes unlucky come to you. When unlucky come to you, but you believe your strategy works, yes, feel pain as normal. Feel if you use the low risk trade, you will say that I believe my setup. When it comes, it go my side. And another big question you have to ask yourself: if the price maybe go against my setup that I believe that I have put the faith, I have seen it work a lot, but I face the week that trading is hard for me. What's the problem? That's your final lesson. What you're supposed to do, review it, then add something. When this thing happens, what is the alternative? That alternative is a final step to have a confidence on something that you believe. So, me, I can say that in Forex, is you yourself alone, you can prove something it works for you. You need to give yourself time. Don't trade a real account if you don't have the confidence. Start trading the real account once your angel come to you and they tell you that now you can test the real money. Yeah, that is what I can say. In real life, to prove yourself is find a side business in line with the Forex. You know, in Forex, we have a lot of time to do online business or other side business. You can do something that can give you passive income or some money that you can live and survive. You can do it. For example, myself, maybe I have I sell the tour and the safari, maybe for the visitor or stranger who come in Tanzania. So I sell them when they book the hotel here, and when they feel they want to visit some places, they buy the tour and the safari. Then, so I get passive something. Or sometimes you can say that, it's this maybe, and this thing completely easier. Why? Because you deliver the responsibility to driver. You deliver responsibility to a guide who know the place. You can go there with your client, and they feel like you are there in the place. So, and it don't cost any time. You work as a customer care. You when the visitor come to you, you just ask, welcome Zanzibar, you are here. When you want to visit a particular place, you just chatting WhatsApp, just chatting in the places. If that's a side business, or sometime you can have something like service online, you do it. Maybe you can have a maybe small thing like trading view. I talk about the Forex trader. Yeah, you can buy the trading view package, which can allow maybe 5 users to use one trading view. Then instead they buy the price of the trading view. You can break down it for five trader or 4 trader. Then they pay it. Then they pay you. You make something. You buy another. You do that the same. You do the same. You get pass. You do something that just forgetting past, and then you make big. Or sometimes you can. We are living in Africa. You can say the crypto, any stable coin. People they need a lot of stable coin. They can buy from you. They buy Altcoin, or they do online payment. You make something. A lot of Forex traders, they fear to have a small or something side business that can help them to make something. If you have this thing, you can easily backtest or something. You can easily review all scenario in your setup. If they don't go well, don't quit. Yes, give yourself time to learn from yourself. Sometimes the difficulty of this market, you can experience the setup 6 months. It go in your side very well. And the difficulty of the Forex market, this hormone they give us overconfidence. This hormone in our body, they tell us now you have everything. You don't need it to understand other information. But there is a week something go wrong in your setup. You consider everything, but if you can be silent and accept that pain, and they say that once this thing happen, what do they do? So I can learn the last things, so I can believe my setup again. Really, Forex is very hard to explain to the people who are not traders. But you, because you're a trader, you understand what I'm talking about. And that is how you can prove the reality. I'm done.
Shibashi, dropping dimes, dropping gold, talking about how to shift your reality as a trader, focus on your entrepreneurial skills, find a side hustle, find a way to minimize your risk. Excellent points, Shibashi. Thank you so much. We've got Alfred here with his hand up. Alfred.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Just sent you. I think we just sent you a link in your DMs if you wanted to.
Oh, but amazing. We'll look at it.
But otherwise, jump in. Tell us your thoughts, man.
Okay. Just allow me to vent a bit here, Mr. Kit.
Pretty pleased, my friend. That's what we're here for.
So, if I recall the question correctly, right? It says, "What is one way to change your reality and accept it?" Is that correct?
Yeah, and the second part of that is, can you visualize the change that you want to see?
Okay, lovely. So, in order for us to answer that question, first we need to define what reality is. So, the way I see it, I genuinely believe that reality is something that you can't argue away. Let's take this fundamental. Let's take pain, for example. Let's say me and you are walking down the street and you twist your ankle and break it. As much as you try to argue it away, say it's not there, say it's non-existent, your leg is still broken and you are unable to walk. That is the reality. The reality is you are unable to walk. You can argue, we can talk about it, we can discuss it, but the reality is you can't walk and you're in pain. How do we change that? Of course, we take you to the hospital, they get you a cast, and then everything is good. You obviously heal over time. But then now, What does that mean? First, reality comes from acceptance. You broke your leg is broken. Second is time. It takes time to heal. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen the next day. It takes time. Even if you break your finger, you break a pinky, it takes time for it to heal. So what that means fundamentally is that if you want to change any sort of reality, it requires two ingredients. First, it's acceptance. Whether you accept it or you don't, it doesn't change the fact that your leg is broken. Secondly, time. It takes time for your reality to change. And let's say, for example, your leg is broken and you ignorantly don't believe it's broken. What's going to happen is you're not going to go to the hospital. You're going to go cheat on your friend or whatever. You're going to ignore it. And when you ignore it, over time, your reality becomes different. Because now your leg, let's say if you don't go to the doctor and don't get a test, what do we call this? You don't get a
cast, yeah.
It will literally mutate and turn into something different. It might not function as properly as you left it before. So it doesn't matter whether you accept the reality or you don't, but then the way to mutate over time will be dictated by whether you accept the reality or you don't. How does this transfer into trading? For me, the reason I resonate with this topic very much is I've never, ever in my life, ever liked, commented, or retweeted someone else's chart. Why is that so? I'm not hating against them or anything of that sort. It just reminds me back 9 years ago when I began trading. I used to always screenshot my trades. Literally, I used to always screenshot. And I used to notice something about me, about my reality when I began. I only screenshot the trades in which I was winning. I never screenshot the trades in which I was losing. Never. I have never done that. Or when I was beginning, I never used to do that. And what I used to do is when I used to share it with my friends on social media, whatever, I used to only share my winning trades. I used to portray a certain reality. But the only reality me and you can agree on as traders, kid, is your P&L, correct? Your profit and loss statement is the reality in which you and me can't argue away. If I say I'm a good trader, it will reflect in my P&L, regardless of how many winning charts I show you, how many losing charts I show you. Like, for example, like on Twitter, I can start posting my losing trades, posting my losing trades. But then when you take my P&L, I only have like maybe 1 or 2, and then the rest of the remaining 9 are winners, right? You might not see that reality because I chose to give you a certain reality which is outside your perception. What ended up happening with me when I began trading, and I used to only post my winning trades, my P&L, I'm literally losing. Literally, I'm in drawdown, and I keep drawing down and down and down lower. But when I post, I keep posting my wins. So I lose 9 times. The one time I win, I post it. Literally, I lose 10 trades, 9 losses, 1, I posted. And then it got me thinking, if I do that, how many people do that externally? My friends, my family, the people I trade with in my community, how many people actually do that? They're trying to deceive themselves from a reality which they know within their P&L that I am losing. But I want to showcase externally, outside myself, that, oh, I'm winning, I'm good, I'm not in pain, I'm not hurt, everything is good, everything is okay. But what that does is it deceives you. It forces you to ignore your mistakes and focus on what you think you're doing correctly, which is not correct. You're not supposed to even be posting your trades in the first place, but that's a topic for another time. What ends up happening is you fail to accept your P&L. That's the first acceptance of reality. The first pain, as any trader, you need to accept your profit and losses, because your profit and losses never lie. They'll tell you the time you made that mistake. They'll tell you the price in which you made that mistake and how big that mistake cost you. That's your time, price, and how much you lost. Literally, it will tell you. It won't lie to you. It will tell you exactly how it is. It will even tell you your commission if you want to. But now most of us traders ignore that. We literally ignore that. I've come to notice that when I began I couldn't sit with my P&L. I could not, kid. Like, I could not sit down and look at everything I made, all my mistakes, I used to sugarcoat it, ignore it. Only focus on this, oh, I did this good. The rest is not. Even if it's a few dollars, I got that right, the rest, I ignore it. And I've come to realize that many of us traders make that same mistake. We make that same mistake where we sit down with our P&L and we ignore it. We ignore the purity of that P&L, because your P&L as a trader is real. It's true, it's reality, something that you can share with me and you. We can both see it, even though I was not there to actively participate in it, but I can see your pain. I can see your losses. It got to a point now where After a while, I stopped trading. I stopped posting my charts. I stopped sharing it with anyone, and I started focusing on my P&L. Literally, I could care less how I trade, my executions, my entry. And every single week, I used to sit down at my P&L, and I used to recall every single trade, one by one, how I was feeling, what I felt after. Why did I put on the next trade? Why did I not put the next trade? Why did I skip a day? I could relive that moment over and over and over again. I got so good that whenever someone shows me their chart or their trading history, whatever, not trading history, they'll show me their chart, I'll be like, no, I don't need that. Show me your P&L, I can tell you exactly what you were thinking. Even now, you can show me anyone's P&L and I can tell you exactly what you're thinking. Not the winners, of course. I want people to lose. I can even recall, why did you get back in? What emotion brought you back in? And most people don't sit with that. Hence, it's so hard as traders to overcome drawdown, to change that reality of losing and changing it into winning. Why? Because you don't sit with your losses and accept them. You don't sit with your pain and allow time to heal that pain so that pain can actually generate better results. And us as traders fail to do that every single time because that's not something you teach. How do you come, let's say, to a new trader and tell them, trade how you want to, trade how you feel like you should on demo, of course, and then we'll go through your P&L. We'll literally go through it and you tell me every single emotion that you were going through, why you picked that trade. Most of them will be like, nah, I was just testing it out. But you pushing that away, that's a reality. You lost money at a certain time, at a certain place. But now you're failing to accept that you lost time or money at a certain time in a certain place. You're not sitting down with it because the goal of any trading endeavor is to make money. We might lose money in the process, of course, and that obviously develops your models, etc. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here. When you lost money, you lost it. That is a reality. It's not fake. You can't fabricate it. You lost money at a specific time and a specific date. So if we as traders sit down with our P&L, sit down with our losses, really calm down and understand all the emotions, all the intricate details. When I heard Josh speaking, he did say we had a rough month this month in terms of trading the S&P 500. I felt exactly what you felt. I could hear when you tell me it was a very rough week and I impulsively got in. I can tell you, looking at the chart, moments where I felt the same way. I felt the exact same way. But then, obviously, we all have different coping mechanisms. I stop differently because all I do is I just remember how I was when I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm like, if I don't feel right, I don't trade it. If it feels a bit too free, if I feel like I'm impulsively wanting to enter, that's a loss already. Because I genuinely believe you lose your trade long before you even get in. You lost literally before you got into the marketplace. You made a loss because obviously your impulses got the best of you. And if you feel like you need to trade, you need to come in, you have lost because that's an impulsive behavior. That's something that's reeling you in. It's trying to draw you to price. You don't call your price is calling you. But that's a topic for another day. If we sit with our P&L, we literally sit down with it, understand it, breathe it, live it, accept it, to be far much easier for you to change it. Far much easier. But if you don't sit with that reality, if you deny the ability for you to accept it, because if you don't accept it, then you won't change. It will happen regardless. Time will still play its course, and obviously your trajectory won't be the one you want it to be. But if you accept it, you can change the trajectory because now you can minimize. Let's say, for example, at a certain price, at a certain time, you lost because you were impulsive. You can stop that because you know what time and what place that happened. You know what emotions you were going through. You know whether you're going through a breakup, a family fight, whatever. You can stop it. You'll know that next time when I'm in a family fight with this, don't trade at all. You won't lose. And then let's say, for example, at a certain time, at a certain place, you place a trade and you lost. Why did you? How are you feeling? Were you angry, greedy? Then you know whenever I feel that feeling, then I don't engage. Because all those are emotions you are bringing into trading. You are taking them from you and putting them in the chart. They need to reflect. In reality, they are your P&L. And the only way for you to change it is to sit and accept it. I think I'm done, kid.
Ooh, acceptance of your reality. I definitely heard that. And I definitely think that's a very, very important thing. In order to consciously change, that comes through acceptance. I think Alfred brought that point home very, very well. Thank you, Alfred. Much appreciated. Thank you, Shibashi. I got NZT, ICT here. It's 117. Twitter remains undefeated. We are live on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a follow, right? Hang out. We're on Trader Roundup, at Trader Roundup, at ICT Concepts Explained. We're on Twitter. We're here hanging out. NZT. Want to see if you've got anything to add to the discussion today. The topic is subconscious mind and reality creation. NZT.
Hey, as my regular greetings is, if you're hearing this transmission, you are part of the resistance against the wolves of the Wall Street. Okay, well, about the topic is I have so much to tell, and I don't know where to start, not to scare everyone.
No, we're here for it, buddy. It's good. We like it. The anecdotal stories are what makes us who we are.
Right, but usually after that discussion, when I start, I usually get banned.
Well, hopefully it's not that, and it can be something we can all collaborate on and embrace.
I know that, but level of truth I want to unveil, it's very hurtful. So nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to deal with that. And if somebody wants to get in, it will meet such a huge resistance that many could not withstand and endure. And because why I say that, because I've been through that, and I know what I'm talking about. And I lost many friends. I lost many people who's in the ministry because of that. So, but the part I didn't say about myself in the beginning, the major part of me, besides what I'm doing, like ether energy, I didn't talk about that yet. It's ether, it's a different topic. You can really create everything. And
like mental energy, right? Like mental energy, subconscious.
It's not mental, it's a physical, it's a science. I'm a scientist on ether dynamics. It's actually for suppressed science. You can't find any information.
Hey guys, can't hear you, Kit.
He's coming through on Spaces, but not on the studio.
in his preaching. So the truth is, in reality, it's a multi-level. For example, we first have a physical reality. The physical reality, we were born into physical reality where our soul is wrapped up in our body, physical body. So now our soul has something to represent itself in this physical world. And this physical world was created